Part 1 of Can We Profit got off to an amazing start with Pot of Prosperity and Lightning Storm, both cards combining at a total value of over $60. The question now is, what do these tins have in store for us here in Part 2? What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Table of Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, too, make sure you guys are at least hitting that like button. Hitting the like button does help out the YouTube algorithm. So thank you guys so much for doing that. I do appreciate it. As I just mentioned earlier, Part 1, we got off to a very hot start here in Can We Profit, easily making over $80 in Part 1 and basically securing at least half our value back already. The question now remains, especially when I pulled Pot of Prosperity very early and Lightning Storm very early in Part 1, which is great, but we pulled it very early. So now the question does remain, what is left? What does Yu-Gi-Oh! Tins have left in store? Is it possible to pull 2 Pot of Prosperities? Is it possible we're still going to get another Lightning Storm or the Forbidden Droplet? Are we going to pull the Dark Magician anime art? Blue Eyes, Red Eyes? What else do these tins have in store? And we're going to answer that question here in Part 2 of Can We Profit. Of course, make sure you do stick to the end of this video where I break down and do a quick breakdown of the numbers and see how well we did here in Part 2. Now, I do have a question of the day for you guys, and the question of the day is, do you prefer collector sets? Specifically when talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you prefer Yu-Gi-Oh! Collector sets over their base booster boxes? I'm very curious to hear from you guys, and if so, please answer why. I'm just very curious to hear from you guys. Of course, you guys know my infatuation with these collector sets. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to collector sets actually puts in so much effort, and it really does show when it comes to reprints, prismatic secrets, or any other kind of different secret foilings. You could just see the effort is just there, and of course you get better pulls. It seems like there's just a better pull rate in these collector sets. Not to mention, majority of collector sets are cheaper, easy to obtain. These are stuff that I just like about collector sets. So all of that factors into me personally why I like collector sets. And of course, I am majority of a collector when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, I'm trying to get back into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So there is that bit of a factor. So maybe I'm just a little bit biased, which is why I want you guys to answer. Yes or no, do you prefer Yu-Gi-Oh! Collector sets over the base booster boxes? And if so, why? I'm just curious. I want to hear from some of you guys, so please answer down below in the comments section. And with all of that being out of the way, let's jump into Part 2 and see what does Part 2 have in store for us. All right, you guys, we are all set for Part 2, so let's get right into it. Fresh tins, we love that feeling. Go ahead and get that out of there. All right, let's see. Let's see how well my luck is here in Part 2. Really would love it if just we pulled the Red Eyes, or even Dark Magician Girl I would take too, because at least she had some good value. But I'm really leaning towards, I really want that Red Eyes Black Dragon. So here we go, guys. Part 2 underway. Here's all the commons. I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker now, because commons, really no value to them. Here's what we're looking for, though. Rank Up Magic, Zexial Force, nice. Virtual World Gate. There are some of these cards that have some good value to it. What is that? Reinforce of the Army Troops, nice. What do we got here? Tri-Brigades, nice. And, ZS Ascended Sage is our prismatic secret. And of course, here are just some extra commons. Anybody interested? There you go. That's what we're looking at. All right, so that was pack number 1. Get that in there. Here we go with pack number 2. It seems like at least these 10 so far, you do get one good hit. Like one good hit of like $5, $10 or more. So that's something that so far that I'm noticing, and that's what I really do like. And like I said, it just seems like when it comes to these sets, these collector sets, Yu-Gi-Oh! Just pays a little more attention. So we got Virtual World, Gunking Ship, another Virtual World Gate, Zexial Construction, Double D Assault Carrier, and Ready Fusion is the Prismatic Secret. I will say this much too about these Prismatic Secrets. They are gorgeous. They really do kind of just, look at that foiling. That foil pattern just pops off on you. And again, sometimes the camera don't even do it justice. And of course, we got some regular commons. So I did notice too, I started looking a little more closely on TCG to see the prices of some of these and what I'm noticing, and especially like when it comes to like the commons, the super rares, the ultra rares, trying to really see which ones have like really good value. And it does seem like for, especially not for the prismatic secrets, but for the ultra rares, the super rare, stuff like that, there is like one key card in every category that does have a $5+ or even $3 or more value to it. So I'm starting to pay a little more attention. Here we go. Synchro Transmission. All right. Daphne, Screams of the Branded. That's a nice looking card. Lena the Light Charmer. Nothing crazy. Auto. And, ooh, Branded Opening. And I'm liking that I'm seeing a lot of these branded cards because I am making a branded fusion deck. So, in a strange way, that, you know, I kind of like seeing those cards. But nothing crazy in that tin that I'm noticing anyways. I could be totally wrong when I go look at the prices later. So quick recap. For the first tin was ZS Ascended Stage in the first pack, Branded Opening, and Ready Fusion. Those were the 3 prismatics in that tin. All right, now we're ready for the second tin. So far, nothing crazy here. Let's see how the second tin fares. All right, let's crack open the first pack. Give him a nice little push. Make sure the cards are all down there. Don't want to accidentally cut something. That would be heartbreaking. All right. Oop, upside down there. Let's fix that. There we go. All right, we got our commons. Of course, there's really nothing crazy here. All right. We have ourselves Flow Injuries, Lower Swallow, Sunvine Crossbreed, Apex Predation, okay. Earth Chant, and oh, that's a gorgeous looking card, man. Armed Dragon Thunder, level 7. Beautiful looking card. Again, I love these prismatic secrets. And they really do, like I said, they just pop right off. So there we go. That was pack number 1. Let's take a look at pack number 2. And of course, I am expecting a little bit of a slowdown. The fact that we pulled the pot so early, Pot of Prosperity, man, like to get it that early in part 1 and to even just get one, there aren't a lot of people that get one. So I am expecting a little bit of a slowdown here in part 2. So there we go. Let's go with the Archfiend Staff of Despair, Live Twin, Ice Jade Tremora, Double D Assault Carrier. Hey, look at that. Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. And, oh, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. There we go. Like seeing that card. That is our second one. And as a Prismatic Secret. Again, just gorgeous looking card. All right. Third pack. Third pack on the second tin. Let's see what we got here. Pull a Ghost Ogre. I'm feeling something good here. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say we're going to get a Forbidden Droplet right here. Something just tells me. And the pull of Forbidden Droplet would be amazing. Because again, that card would pay for like 2 of the tins easily. So let's see how my gut feeling is. Alright. Got ourselves Laundry Trap, Binary Blader, Trap Tricks, Mimicking Man-Eater Bug. Oh, Man-Eater Bug. I remember that card back in the day. Dark Infant, and a Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Nice card there. Not what I thought it was going to be. I really was hoping for a Forbidden Droplet. I was trying to speak it into existence. And of course, regular commons. Nothing crazy. Alright, to do a quick recap, we pulled Armed Dragon Thunder level 7, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and Lord of the Heavenly Prison. And those were the 3 prismatic secrets. Alright, and last but not least, tin number 3. Come on, baby. We got to get something good, because I'm already noticing that the last 2 tins, I can pretty much guess. They don't have great value, so. Come on. Tin number 3 here in part 2. Give me Dark Magician Girl, give me red eyes. Hell, even give me the blue eyes. I mean, I'll take any of the anime arts. And so far, what I'm reading into is that you do get one per case. That's what I'm noticing. So let's see how accurate that holds up. All right, we got nothing but the commons. Nothing crazy here. Laundry Trap. Seen enough of that. Ghost Mourner, Moonlight Chill. Lodree's Heavenly Zapier. Synchro Overtake. And Rock's Rose Dragon. I do not like that card as a prismatic secret. Ice Jade. Nothing else there. Not a fan. Rock's Rose Dragon. Don't think that should have been a prismatic secret. I think they could have picked something better for that. But it is what it is. Come on. Forbidden Droplet. Dark Magician Girl. Any of those would be perfect right about now. Alright. Got ourselves the commons. Go ahead and put that off to this side. Alright, we got Ultimate Flagship. Radiant. Hello, another one. Warrock Skylar. I like this card. Nibiru the Primal Being, we mentioned he's about $2.99, so that's a good card to pull here every time. And Greater Polymerization, that is the second one that I've pulled. And really just not feeling it. So let's see, pack number 3, the last pack. Can we get some last pack magic to kind of keep me afloat? Because I'm pretty much going to guess that none of these cards really are worth it. All right, got the commons, of course. Go ahead and put that over there. Despia Theater of the Branded. Nice. Flowendry. Paleozoic. Contract with the Abyss. Nice. Dark Ruler No More. I think that's a good card to pull, actually. I remember seeing this on top of the list as far as value goes. So that's nice. Haven't seen any Egyptian support either, unless this is one of the Egyptian supports. Doesn't look like it. And Branded Opening. The second one we pulled. So nothing crazy there. So quick recap. We pulled Rock's Rose Dragon, Greater Polymerization, and Branded Opening. A little disappointing here in part 2. I really was hoping for at least one of the anime arts. Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician Girl. Especially seeing that you get one per case. Now that could be different because I did get Pot of Prosperity. Maybe you get one Pot of Prosperity or you get one of the anime arts. If I had to choose between one or the other, I'm taking Pot every time. So now let's get to the end of the video and see how well I did. Well, let's start off with tin number 1. So the total value of tin number 1 was $5.68. And the only thing worth talking about are these two cards right here. Specifically Branded Opening. Branded Opening comes in at a couple of bucks there. Ready Fusion and Ascended Sage. The Ascended Sage is actually the worst of the three of them. I believe this card is virtually worthless, coming in some cases less than 20 cents, but 20 cents is where it's kind of hanging out right now. Ready Fusion, again, about $1 or something. Not really anything worth mentioning in tin number 1. So losing a good amount of money here. Again, each tin costing us about $13.76 or $13.75. So the tin number 1 only gained us $5.68. Not off to a good start. Now let's talk about tin number 2. Tin number 2 did a little bit better than tin number 1. Tin number 2 came in at $8.56. Most notably, of course, Ghost Ogre, along with the Lord of Heavenly Prison, both rounding out the majority of the profits here. Armed Dragon Thunder level 7, virtually worthless as well, as it comes in at about less than 20 cents. And I even added in this card, because this card surprisingly actually had 25 cents tagged to it. Again, just something that's a little bit better than the majority of the bulk. Majority of the bulk that you see, all of the rares, ultra rares, super rares, all that kind of stuff, is virtually worthless. So anytime you see a card that's, 25 cents or above, I'm just going to kind of add it in here just to show where we get our total value. So total value, again, $8.56, did much better than tin number 1. And of course, saving the best for last, we have coming in tin number 3. So tin number 3 was the best out of all 3 of them, and the total value for tin number 3 was $10.08. Now I know that means we did not make our money back on any of these tins. We did not break even, but thank God we did make $10 here. and pretty much it came right between these two cards. So branded opening, couple of bucks, Greater Polymerization, Rock Rose Dragon, nothing to really talk about. But Dark Ruler No More and Naburo the Primal Being both coming in at over $2 really saved my behind here on this one. So total value was $10.08, and the total value of tins 1, 2, and 3 came in at a combined $24.32. So not as bad as I thought I did. Of course, we can always do better. Of course, go look at part number 1, right? But at least the combined value of both tins 1 through 6 now, we are at $106.53. So part 1, part 2 combined, $106.53. And really, if you just think about it, part 1, this is why part 1 was so crucial, because we had damn near doubled our value. So at least these last 3 tins are basically paid for thanks to part 1. Well, after that incredible high in part 1, we find out in part 2, we kind of just come back down to earth just a little bit. So total value, like I mentioned, guys, here in part 2 was $24.32. Wasn't or even close to what it was in part 1, but thank God we did so well in part 1, because it kind of gave us that nice cushion. Part 1 definitely has and already will pay for part 2. And that's kind of the risk reward that you take with anything in TCG, right? This is why personally I always buy a full case, because you're basically playing the lottery, right? Imagine if you're that person who spent $13 or even $21 at a big box store, and that's kind of what you get out of that $21. You get $5, $8, or even $10, as I just pulled in tin 1, 2, and 3. Imagine if you're that person right now sitting there being like, this is all I get and this is what I paid for. Not really good. Personally, this is why I always say I like collector sets, because if you do have $175 or $200 lying around in your bank, you know, typically it's not that much work if you're earning a modest living in today's economy. That's something you can maybe forego and put up a little bit and pony up for about $200, and you'll actually see what you'll get in return. This is why we do the Cammy Profit. This is why personally I always buy cases of everything, so you guys can see how are the pull rates, how the value equals out in the end, stuff like that. Because stuff like that should and does matter to a lot of people. It certainly matters to me. So this is kind of why I do it. Because again, imagine if you're that person. Tins 1, 2, and 3. You saw part 1, right? And tins 1, 2, and 3 basically making plenty of money there. And then here we are in part 2. Those other 3 tins, not really close. But again, good thing for part 1. So we'll see how well we do tomorrow in part 3. I'll probably be dropping that video tomorrow for you guys. So be sure to look out for that. Of course, if you want to know when I drop a video, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a video. And again, I thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow right here at Table of Madness.